participate in the resurrection.
What is up everyone, my name's Al from GamesRip, and today we're going to be looking at the cancelled Alien Resurrection for the Sega Dreamcast. Now as you can see, Alien Resurrection actually was full on in production for the Sega Dreamcast. Now obviously it did come out on the PlayStation 1, and it's actually a very, very decent game. It's a decent Alien game. I know, okay, it's not as good as Alien Trilogy. In my mind, it's actually, to be fair, a very, very scary game. But yeah, this was actually in development for the Sega Dreamcast. Now, we obviously know exactly what happened in 2001, I believe it was, when the Sega Dreamcast obviously came to its peril, so it only had about a 2-year lifespan. But Alien Resurrection was indeed going to be, coming out, and then boom, it got cancelled along with a lot of other games. Now obviously let's just quickly talk about Alien Resurrection in the sense that it was originally going to be a third-person game. And why did it never come out as a third-person game? Now, I'm not entirely sure, because, I actually think it kind of looked a bit, it kind of was going to be done in the style of Tomb Raider. So if you love the Tomb Raider games, then, let's face it, you probably would have liked to have played a third-person Alien game. And now obviously Fireteam is coming out, and Fireteam, as you can see, looks absolutely fantastic. Reminds me very much of Left 4 Dead in that sort of style, although obviously there is a new Left 4 Dead essentially coming out called Back to Blood, I think it is, or Blood to something anyway. Also looks fantastic. But as you can see, Alien's Fireteam is essentially what Alien Resurrection maybe could have been. But obviously Alien Resurrection obviously focuses around the actual film, it's a tie-in, whereas Alien's Fireteam is an all new kind of a spin-off to the series. But as you can see, it would have been pretty decent. I mean, just look at Ripley, just look at the Xenomorphs, etc. They all look really good in third person. Now the actual Dreamcast version was going to be a 128-bit version of the, the PlayStation, the 32-bit game. That's right, it was going to be coming to the Sega Dreamcast, and it's such a shame that it didn't. I mean, obviously the console missed out on so many big franchises, and the fact it missed out on this is quite shocking. I mean, the game was also going to be coming out for Sega Saturn. You can see it in these sort of images here, but they were showcasing it in magazines. So it got that far along, but why didn't it happen? I mean, obviously the Sega Saturn version still could have come out. Why didn't that come out? And I obviously do understand why, but this was also going to be coming to the Sega Dreamcast, where it obviously would have been the better version. You wouldn't have sold many on the Sega Saturn, obviously, compared to the Dreamcast. But hey, it would have been great to have seen it on both. Now, this is essentially not leaked, but obviously this, well, at the time again, was essentially a statement from Fox Interactive in March 20th, 2001. Last week we reported that Fox Interactive, now focusing as a developer of video games rather than publisher, was re-evaluating its Dreamcast lineup of games to obviously release in 2001. And at this point they couldn't really confirm what titles were going to get cancelled, because obviously they knew at this point the Dreamcast was in trouble. Yeah, games are going to be cancelled. So was Alien Resurrection going to be one of them? But IGN DC did learn that Alien Resurrection inevitably was one of those titles. Ultimately the decision essentially was handed over to the publishers of these games, and guess what? Yeah, it got canned. So this is one thing that I really wish had happened, because like I said, as you can see, Alien Resurrection really is a good game. I mean, the trailers made it look fantastic. The film was, it had a lot of criticism, but it's also kind of cool if you're a real Alien fan, you kind of appreciate little bits about it. But yeah, it did inevitably get canned. You know, I mean, just looking at these magazine images, etc., the game was really getting pushed. I mean, obviously, we were even meant to have a PC version, so the only version we got was the PlayStation version. We didn't get it on Saturn, we didn't get it on Dreamcast, and we didn't get it on PC. So, you know, again, this isn't just a horror story for Dreamcast fans. This was a horror story for Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast, and PC fans all in one. And yeah, as you know, it didn't come out unless you had the PlayStation. But as you can see, the game kind of went through so many different twists and turns in development anyway, with the third person aspect, then going to first person. You know, someone really at the helm didn't know what they were doing. You know, the final game is good, it's dark, it's actually a really pretty decent, scary Aliens game. But yeah, it didn't come out for the Sega Dreamcast. And it is a shame because, like I said, I think the polished version would have looked fantastic. Now, there's no real video of what it could have been on either Saturn or Dreamcast, although these videos could have come from one of those systems. It could have even come from the PC version. You know, probably did come from the PC version. But again, there's nothing we can solidly say this was on one of those systems, because it just, obviously it's not showing it anywhere saying this is on the Dreamcast, this is on, you know, whatever. But yeah, it inevitably didn't come along, and I think a real sad state of affairs. I mean, the one thing that makes me wonder is someone somewhere has footage, has stills, has even a beta of these games, and they have not yet come forward. I'm hoping that one day these will come to the forefront, and we will see them in the glorious way that we should on the Sega Dreamcast. Anyway, I've been Al from Games Rep. Hope you've liked this nice little discussion and look into Alien Resurrection, the game that was obviously meant to come out on the Sega Dreamcast and got cancelled. I've been Al from Games Rep. Like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you all soon. You can now support the channel on patreon.com/GamesRep, as well as remember to like, comment and subscribe.